Hi, Jay Africa's Last Dance here, the channel where we're all going to drop from our heads to our heart and live and experience and perceive life from that heart chakra. The feeling of drawing in the experiences of life through that heart chakra in a momentary, perceptible fashion, as opposed to running it by or through our minds, our corrupted minds, more or less, all right? And this is what we're aiming for here. You got to know that by now. Okay, let's do firstly, let's do the N heart space ceremony here, okay? Put your hands like this on your heart space. I gotta come up with better ways of doing this stuff. And here we go. Close your eyes. Feel, see, sense the warmth of your hands on that heart space. And just sit there for a moment. Let everything go, okay? Take in a conscious breath to that heart area, through the mouth, okay? This breath is through the mouth. It's unusual, but that's what it is. So you take a breath in through the mouth, into that heart space area, and then you let it go. All right? Okay, now see if you can see or feel, sense, feel, see any essence there, any light there, any space there in that heart area. Okay, personally claim the sense of this heart space you're beginning to feel. This is my beloved heart space. This is the most important thing to me right now, the ever-opening heart space. My open rose, my open heart space. And just relax into it, fall into it, okay? Claim that. After you claim the heart space, take in one more conscious breath. Let that out. Let it out. And then we bring in the sacred sound. Okay, as you're uttering this sacred sound, see if you can feel, see, sense any shift in your heart space, any light, any more greater essence, any spaciousness, anything there, any imprint. That's what we're looking for. As you say this sacred sound, see if you can sense, feel, see in that heart area an imprint, a spaciousness, a light that is that heart space as it begins to come alive. Okay, this is all geared to accessing that heart space, okay? See if you can sense anything there, okay? And relax, fall back into it. Take another conscious breath into that heart space, through the mouth, out the mouth, in. Out the mouth. And see if you can feel, sense, see any light, any energy, any spaciousness, any imprint there in that heart area. Let go. Let go and just simply be. And see if you can activate that heart space. Sense, see, feel a light, an imprint, greater activity in that heart space. This is what we're looking for. Okay? And just relax back into it and see what you feel. Okay? Now, this is another step to this is to create with your heart space, like I've spoken before. We can create with our heart space as we create with our will and our intent and our ego. We can also create with our heart space by putting something right at this moment in that heart space and letting it sit there and begin to metamorphose into the whole universe will act around you to give you whatever you planted in that heart space. Okay, that's the way we create with our heart space. And I'll show you how we'll do that next time. Right now, we're just accessing that heart space. We're building on having access to that brand new heart space, a consciousness of it, knowing being there. Okay. So that is the exercise. Okay. I got this straight from the Galactics on YouTube. You know, I got it a couple times, so it's probably it has to be pretty big. Okay, now dowel. Let me finish the dowel. The dowel I gave last video. I just made a batch of it. It's excellent stuff. On the amount of powdered spices, I said 2.5 to 3. Make it 2 to 2.5. Just to, and then you can build the spice amount. It can be anything you want it to be. It all depends on your personal taste. Okay, you can even jimmy the proportions of each of those spices I've given you on that dal recipe. I don't throw the ginger into the onions I'm sautéing because I want the ginger to have a freshness to it. Okay, I don't want to cook ginger quality in my dal. I want a fresh ginger quality. So I don't saute it with the onions before I steep those beans, those sprouted beans. Okay, I throw them into the powder, and they only have a few seconds to cook, a few minutes to cook. In that sauce, once I transfer those beans into the pan where I've slightly toasted. Be careful now, it's only slightly toast those spices. If you begin to burn them, you're gonna counteract all the good qualities they have. So you have to slightly toast them. If you put on those spices, like I explained to you last week, or last video, and you find them smoky too much, get that pan off that heat and start to spin it, and start to flip those things so you don't burn those spices. You want to slightly toast them, but you don't want to burn them, okay? Because that same rule applies. Anytime you add heat to things too much, you're going to change the properties and you're going to inhibit the good qualities that they have going on for you. I just made some dal. I made some a couple days ago, and I used kale rather than spinach, and parsley also too. The difference there is just you simmer that after you put the beans and the liquid into the spices, and you simmer that for a little bit. You put the kale in, really slow simmer. You put the kale in, and you simmer that. The spinach, you put it in, you let that heat return, and you turn it off with the parsley right away, and that's it. With the kale, you have to simmer it in that sauce, maybe a few minutes, 4 minutes longer, because it's a tougher cell. Okay, it's a tougher cruciferous vegetable, and it needs a little bit more heat there to kind of break that down a little bit. The soy I've added to it is my addition. They don't do that in India. That's my addition to create a little bit more flavor. Also, the parsley is not their addition. That's my addition, because parsley is a huge cleanser, and all those powders and spices and herbs that are so good for you. I mean, and especially for your gut. The addition of the parsley as a cleanser, as a gut cleanser, is just an excellent idea. Now listen, let me tell you something. When I eat this recipe I've given you, when I have that dal recipe, it's very easy on the body. I feel no digestive stress when I have a fairly large bowl of this lentil dal. Okay, if you're wondering what I'm talking about, go to my last video and you'll understand what I'm talking about there. I give the recipe for this dal. I can just feel the power packedness of it. And it is very easy to digest. It doesn't take a lot of energy, and it sits really quietly in your stomach. And you can just know it's the right thing to eat by that. Okay, that's how I know. And it has great protein. Even the ghee. I explained to you how I roll in another couple of tablespoons of ghee at the end. Ghee is a tremendous nutritious substance, all right? It has many great qualities to it. The Indians call ghee a superfood. I use it regularly. I put it in my coffee in the morning. I'll explain more to this. We're going to do diet here soon, food, and I'll include what I think about ghee. And the Galactics are saying straight up, eating any animal or animal products all that does is get you to old age quicker and disease. Old age creates old age and disease. Animals and animal products. That's their line that they're telling, and they're largely correct. But they're not recommending everybody go to a vegan diet right away, because they're just things we have to respect. It's a matter of stages to get to that sort of fresh, holistic veganism, basically where everything's going to be heading one way or the other. But you have to get there slowly, okay? But that doesn't include ghee, okay? Ghee actually elongates your life, okay? Ghee really has had the dairy cooked out of it, okay? I use grass-fed, organic, cultured ghee, okay? Cultured ghee, it's important that get that culture in there. It is a wonderful substance, and we'll get into that. It has some many good properties for it. I went to an Indian Ayurvedic doctor. She said, look, get ghee in your diet. You could use it. So that's when I started using it. And like I say, I put a couple of teaspoons in my coffee every morning, and we'll talk about that as we get along here. Okay, now, we have done heart magnetizing exercises. Let's go over them really quickly to rehash what I've told you I do as I'm getting to my heart chakra, the things I do to magnetize that heart. Remember I said we're going to demagnetize this mind, we're going to magnetize the heart, and we're going to fall to that heart chakra and experience life from there, okay? Become a heart-centered person first, a psychological person second, okay? And that's the plan. That's what we're going to do. And as we do that, we got to demagnetize the mind, and magnetize the heart. Okay, those are the first steps to get to where we want to go here. I experienced this reality before. It was with the help of psychedelics, and it is much better way, much more reliable way of going through life, connected to the heart, being a heart-centered being first, a mental, psychological, ego mind second, okay? Here are the things I do. Here are the things I've told you before. A wake-up routine. The first thing I do when I wake up, I put my hand on my heart, and I say, this day is dedicated to my ever-opening heart. As I get up from my bed with the heart, I speak with the heart. I listen with the heart. I walk with the heart. I talk with the heart. I breathe with the heart. I perceive with the heart. I experience with the heart. I sing from the heart. I play music from the heart. Everything on this great day I do from this heart chakra, my ever-opening heart chakra. That's why I say before I get up out of bed, as I'm laying there with my hand on my chest. And you can add whatever areas you want to add to that routine. Then there's the as I drinketh. As I drinketh this life. As I drinketh. One of the experience I had was experience of drinking in life. Okay, it felt like you're drinking in life in a momentary, precise fashion through that heart chakra. Okay, so we're mimicking that as we are going to fall to that heart area. As I drinketh this life. As I drinketh this space. As I drinketh these perceptions. As I drinketh this experience. As I drinketh this truth. As I drinketh this light. You get the picture, okay? As I drinketh, okay, or drinketh in all these wonderful things that we want to be drinking in. As I meditate, portion of the meditation is drinking, breathing in through that heart chakra. As I take a breath, I'm imagining light and air and energy coming into my heart through an opening there, and then I blow it out that heart chakra, okay? I do that when I'm walking, okay? A third of the time, 40% of the time I'm walking, doing power walking, I'm breathing in. I elongate the breath. I take charge of the breath. I elongate it, and I breathe it in through my heart chakra as I'm walking and out through that heart chakra. Long, deep breaths. I don't do the breathing that the exercise would lead me to breathe. I change it. I take charge of it. Long, deep breaths through that heart, in and out through that heart chakra as I'm walking, and a portion of my meditation. Heart resonance while I'm talking and affirming when I'm talking to others. I try to be aware of the heart. When I'm affirming, I put my hand on my heart and see if I can't get that vibration during those affirmations, into that affirmation. So you're talking with heart awareness, and you're affirming with heart resonance, heart vibration, you can feel it in your heart. I am magnificent, and I love myself infinitely. I am magnificent, and I love myself infinitely. That type of thing. That's a heart resonance in there. You got that? Open rose ceremony. Check my videos early. The open rose ceremony provided by Mother Mary. I go throughout the day saying, "My open heart." No, here. My open rose, Mother Mary. My open heart. My open rose, Mother Mary. My open heart, as well as doing the heart opening ceremony. Go back to that video. I recommend that highly. Do it a time a month for the next year. I mean, and you'll learn how to do it the way I've explained it there. And it is a wonderful ceremony to do, and I recommend it. Okay, heart opening ceremony by Mother Mary. Address wall around the heart. We all have a wall, a building up a wall around our heart, and we have to slowly address that. Talk to it. This all forgiveness, all surrender, all acceptance, all allowance, and no resistance. That's going to help break down that wall around the heart. Okay, all forgiveness, all surrender, all acceptance, all allowance, and no resistance. Okay, that is going to help bring up. Those are all heart qualities, and when we do become a heart-centered being, and we are going to become that, we live forgiveness. We live a sense of surrender. We live a sense of acceptance, a sense of allowance, and no resistance. We become those words. Right now, they're just words. I'm telling you the words. You're listening to the words. But true heart-centeredness, those words all of a sudden become a reality. You're living the reality of those words as opposed to just communicating with those words. Do you see what I mean? I felt like I was living with these things when I'm in that heart space area. Drop all petty dislikes of people, persons, both famous and local. Refuse to dislike anybody anymore. I've always hated, or on the opposite of the political aisle, people on the opposite side of the political aisle, things like that, people you hated. You're going to have to drop all that, okay? We're going to have to, I will explain this further, but you're going to have to drop all that, okay? You're going to have to learn to take see everybody as an innocent child of God the way that God sees them. That's what you're going to have to do, okay? And there are no enemies in that case. And, even the perceived enemies, that's the way that's where we have to go. Okay, we have to not resist them. Okay, disliking somebody is a resistance. Okay, it's a form of resistance. No resistance. Okay, so we don't waste energy disliking somebody. I dislike you. We don't do that anymore. Okay, we learn to accept and allow and not resist and forgive and be in surrender. Surrender too. Okay, we. Cultivate, drop, and also all things that happen that aren't to our liking, that happen that are just crazinesses. Don't think there's anything wrong going on. Just think that there is something here that I have to massage to get going in the right direction, and that's it. And leave it at that. Don't feel as though you have to. Label it as something wrong. You don't have to label anything. It's just something that's going on, and you got to kind of casually massage it and get it going in the direction you want it to go, and leave it with the higher vibration in mind. Okay, and don't label it as wrong. There's these family with the kid that didn't want me to say hi to the kid anymore or whatever. It's been fine. I let it go, and I handled it well. I handled it very, very well. You go back to the videos, you'll see that also. But I didn't think of anything wrong with that. I just when things don't happen, there's nothing wrong. It's just you move on. You don't label it wrong anymore. That's a mind thing. Heart doesn't label anything wrong. Cultivate tenderheartedness. Okay, a certain tenderheartedness. I've named it tenderheartedness because I felt what it was, and it may be compassion. Okay, that tenderheartedness I've named when I've gotten in these psychedelic spaces, maybe compassion, lived compassion. Okay, that may be what it was, but I'm calling it tenderheartedness. I like tenderheartedness. I like that word anyway. And it's basically just seeing a certain beauty in everything, okay? In yourself, in others, and you look past the lesser qualities to the secret underneath it all, that everybody is beautiful in their own way, and just be more aware of the beauty of everything with this tender-heartedness quality. All right. Be aware of any thoughts or ways of being that have led to a little constriction in the heart. You'll feel that. You'll feel it cinch up. Any thoughts or feelings or ways of being that you will feel that sort of the heart area sort of closed down, get rid of them, okay? You have to sift through them on a daily basis and be aware on a daily basis when you run into these things to shift them to something else. It's not going to happen all at once, okay? Be aware of, this is interesting, be aware of all the things you sort of automatically say and have always automatically said in like situations as you've come through life. Be aware that they're not adequate anymore. If they're coming from ego or personality, be aware that they're not adequate anymore. Okay, you have to, as you make progress in this area we're talking about now, as you make progress, the things that you do in an automatic way, the things you've always done that represent personality and ego are going to stand out more. Okay, you're going to say something in a way that you've always said. If there's a challenge or you're a little competitive about something, or things that happen, the way you've always responded to them is going to stand out more as you make progress, and it's going to sound off. Okay, it's going to sound a wrong vibration, of wrong-headedness. And it's representing you as is maintaining the status quo. It's maintaining that personal status quo that you are living with that is unsatisfactory. All these automatic, personality-driven, ego mind-driven things that you've dealt with in that way before is obsolete. Okay, we don't want to do it merely that way anymore. We're going to introduce a new heart-centered way of reaction. Okay, there's a lot of things we go through during the day that are of the old way, and we're changing that slowly as we move forward here. But all those things that we thought were us, we think those things are us, and they are not us, and we're going to have to get rid of them slowly but surely into a new way of being, a new way of communicating, a different way of handling things as we've handled them in the past. Okay, so these are some of the ways. These are the ways we are magnetizing that heart center. Okay, all these things I've mentioned here. That's how we start beginning to magnetize and open up that heart center. Okay, now, what does it mean when I say we have to demagnetize the mind? Okay, because we haven't really addressed that yet. The way we magnetize the heart, everything I've just said. Okay, the way we demagnetize that mind is obviously, when I said early on in the discourse, 90% of what goes through our mind is nonsense. Okay, is almost breathlessly non-productive. Okay, they just go through our head, and what we have to start taking apart that 90% of stuff that is almost useless to where we want to go. Okay, it just maintains the status quo, the things that go through our head on a daily basis, 90% of them. So we're going to start attacking those things that keep us in our mind, and the way we have these things in our minds all the time, that's what keeps us magnetized to our mind. Okay, and we're going to have to start demagnetizing that, so we loosen that grip the mind has on us, so it can let us go and let us fall to the heart and have our new home in our heart and not in our mind. Okay, so I'm going to end this right here because that's about as far as we can go. But the next video then is we're going to start delving into what demagnetizing the mind, taking apart the mind really is. It involves politics, it involves sports, all these things we entertain ourselves with that we're going to have to drop largely as we want to move forward into a new heart-centered world. This is what is unity consciousness all about, is a heart-centered world. And to get to the fifth dimension, to get to that unity consciousness, we're going to have to go through the heart. As we stand in our minds, we remain individuals, separated, okay? Always will be separated when we are in our dualistic minds, okay? What brings us together, what brings us into unity consciousness is the heart-centered reality. Okay, that's how we're going to begin to hook up with one another and be more of a unit. And more satisfying ways. We know that there should be greater community. Okay, we all understand that, but we're not really doing it because we're all in our heads, and there's not the satisfaction there should be as we develop more communication with one another in a communal sense. Okay, we all understand that we have to have greater community because we don't. But it's not satisfying enough yet because we're not in our hearts as we develop the sense of community. We're in our heads, which keeps us separated and more or less unsatisfying way of trying to develop more community. I've experienced myself. I try to develop community and stuff like that, but it's unsatisfying because I'm not a heart-centered being, and all the preciousness of life as you become a heart-centered being is absent as I try to develop community and others too. And so we don't know where to go from here. We know we should develop more community, but it doesn't pan out because we stay in our minds, our ego minds, our personality-driven ego minds, and we stay separated. So it's not happening as well it should. And this is how we're going to make it happen: is becoming a heart-centered human being. All right, that's it for now. I think I'm at too long already, but let's hold it right there. And so next video is going to be beginning to take apart that mind and seeing how we do that. Okay, so that's it. I am Jeff Africa. I'm a citizen of Earth, a loyal patriot of the United States of America, and I stand unafraid. And these four, Mother Earth, Divine Mother, Paramahansa Yogananda, and Jeshua Ben Joseph, Jesus. These are the four I've chosen to help me get this job done. Get from the head to the heart and learn to become a whole new, brand new being, okay? We're not going to be the same people we used to be as we fall into the heart. We're going to be better people and more genuine, more authentic, more sincere, more earnest. All these wonderful things that are lacking right now in today's broken down society in a major way. Becoming heart-centered people is the savior of Earth. Okay, it really is. What's wrong right now is everybody is stuck in their heads doing stupid things, doing what ego does in stupid ways. Okay, and we're going to change that. And these four are going to help me do it. I'm going to do it right in front of you, and you're going to want to do it too. Okay, so that's it. I think I forgot the funny thought of the day, but I can't. Okay, I got too many. All right, so the next video, we're going to start to take apart that mind and see exactly what that means. Okay, thanks very much, and I'll see you soon. Bye.